What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Jump. Comedian Lil Duval posted on Twitter about certain dynamics that warrant a discussion in Black America. And he said this: date music? Newsflash. It's a lot of Russell Wilsons out here. Y'all just ignoring them because they not rich. And then some sister says, well, then they not Russell because he's rich. And the point that Lil Duval is driving home is that there are a lot of black men with good integrity. There are a lot of black men who want to be family men. There are a lot of black men who, God forbid, are even willing to be stepdad for the Sierra. And Sierra represents the female who was in a troubled relationship, who had a baby by Pookie and Ray Ray, that could pair with a woman like that. But because of their financial status, women will ignore it in the black community. And I want to talk about that because me and SBK Lifestyle, we have our daily complaints about the Black American community as we try to solve the world's problems in 1 or 2 hour conversations. And I said, I can't disagree with Lil Duval because that's right. But the reality is that in Black America, a lot of women have not been trained to scout the talent of the day. Okay? That's a big problem. You have a black man, he could be a Russell Wilson guy all he wants, but if he's sitting on his ass playing the video game, it doesn't matter, right? But if you have a black man who's out there driving trucks, you have a black man out there that's a respectful man to the community, you have a black man that's out there trying to do something, it's also going to vary on how good he looks. Women are very, in the Black American community, how tall he is, how good does he look? If you're average looking or a little bit below standard, no matter how much of a Russell Wilson kind of guy you are, and if you don't have a lot of charisma, you can be in big trouble in Black America. Okay. Now, what tends to happen with these guys is once the women have not scouted the potential talent in these men, because the guy's gonna be something. He ain't what you want right now, because he don't have everything right now. I had one woman tell me, hey, when you graduate medical school, make sure you message me. Well, I done seen a lot of women look better than her now, so it's no chance. Which means that, I'm not, what you have right now is not attractive enough to me. That's fine. Here's what happens. This guy goes on to develop himself more and more. And the guy that liked you in 2015, when you're still looking a lot, still looking really good, that guy has changed a lot in that years. He could have got a master's. He could have invested in Bitcoin. He could have invested in a lot of different things. He could have met a lot of different people. He's still the same guy, but what's happened is that he's put himself around other people who then realize, oh shoot, this guy is worth having around. Okay? And not only is the company he works for or people he works with understand it, the women over there, wherever he's at, understand it. They could be black, they could not be. Then once this guy gets with a chick and she is not black, and he comes back and you see him and the woman is white, the woman is Hispanic, she could be mulatto, she's much more attractive than you, then here's the issue that you want to be mad now. All of a sudden he's a sellout. Well, he wasn't rich then, but he's rich now. Let me give you a good example. For you guys here on YouTube, I gave them their introduction to what we call the Black Manosphere. We could talk about guys like Kevin Samuels, the Manosphere in the whole, Darius M., who's much bigger than me. Guys like that I knew when they had like 700 subscribers with Darius M., he was going to be good. Ask him. Kevin, I found him when he had 6,000, 7,000 subscribers. Actually, he found me. So at the time that people saw them initially, even mediocre tutorials and reviews who I met on Solo TV 84, people used to talk shit about those guys. Alpha Male Strategist came through Black Ram and Solo TV 84. Talk shit about him too. Stefan Clinkscales was in the Manosphere. I have one of the earliest videos on one of my other channels 5 years ago. You don't know who these guys are going to be. Then they become bigger than you on the platform that you introduce people to. And if you talk shit to them back then, they will remember that, right? Like Kevin Samuels remembers everybody who talked shit about him when he didn't have anything on him. Which is why he still called me. Well, I talk shit to him and don't matter, even right now. But see, you didn't know that he was going to be somebody. I kind of figured he was going to be somebody big, not as big as he is now, but do you get what I'm saying? So now that he's on now that Stefan Clinkscales is on now that MTR, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews is on now, all of a sudden, y'all want to start doing your thing. Same thing with Book Alpha. I said the same thing about him. These are YouTubers you guys know. I remember when they were all very small. But you just don't know. Now, similar about these women. When these black men that you guys didn't want, and they have those good values, they get married, they get an MBA, they get an engineering degree, they go to another community with another woman, then you want to call them trash. Because you expect them to, after you didn't want them, you get to wait at the finish line, shout out to SPK, and then select the guy. Newsflash. You don't get to sit at the finish line and wait for the guy to come back home and give you everything. And that don't work that way. That's what you're looking for, but it don't work that way. You're looking for the guy to be there at the finish line. He's not going to do that. No way, no how. So if you didn't want him when he's on his way, and you went for the Pookies and Ray Ray types, you went for the guys who had the money, now you're 30, now you're 35, phone ain't ringing that much, you're 40, few kids, oh, he got the money now. Because you wasn't looking at the long term. You were trying to be a short-term investor. And short-term investors, for the most part, in the dating market, always lose. You always lose in the short term. When you don't look at the long term, you lose. You didn't look at the man that was going to build you a house. You didn't look at the man that was going to build your family. You didn't look at the man that was going to be the workhorse for you, that you could love and that could protect you and that you could offer value to. You didn't look at him like that. Karen did. Or another black woman did. Hey, you got some black women in America understand what kind of man these guys are? Some of them. And once they get it, and once they understand what they got, they're going to sweep them up off the market. Don't come back complaining when you get stuck with the Pookies. Because you will get stuck with them. And don't cry about it. You know, when your friend that you went to college with is getting vacations to Greece and Santorini, whatever it's called, Santorini, and she's going to London and she's going to Uganda and all on there and getting new cars every 3 years, kids going to private school, and you're there dealing with Dusty Darrell. Don't be mad. It won't be my fault. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell, check out the first comment at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains the all-time high. I'm